now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
Welcome back in to the Palmetto Dugout Show, episode 118. Coach Smith, Coach Espo, Coach Sean will be joining us here soon. What's going on, boys?
Coaches, happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
That little intro song, man, it just gets me ready to talk about baseball.
I think we got to change that. So
It's
much.
well,
I mean, it's
peaceful, man. It gets us ready to not come on.
Tranquility.
tranquility. Is that what we're going with?
It's Easter. It's a good Easter intro.
It's been a while. We missed last week.
We did. We had some illness.
The host
up there. We had some family ties up there grilling something y'all got going on.
Too much Cajun in the cafe.
Yeah, a little bit too much Cajun up in that cafe. Hey, before we roll, and I know it's Easter, so we had that hurricane that rolled through these parts, and I went driving through the mountains of western North Carolina the other day. Them damn roads and that washout and all that was up there is unbelievable. I know this ain't what this show's about, but it still, to this point, is for, I don't know how many miles it was, but I'm driving in part of North Carolina and Tennessee on Friday and Saturday, going up and coming back, and it's still a 2-lane road with like road washed out. It's incredible. I mean, it's how long ago was that? At this point, that was October.
Long time ago.
Right. October, and it's about to be May, and I know it ain't easy to rebuild a highway, but I mean it puts a lot of things in perspective. And there's people probably still up in the mountains. There's people probably we all know are listening that probably still got people affected. But it's God Almighty, you're driving up there and you hear about it and you still think going on, but I mean that road washed out. A major highway was washed out, and it's still to this point. You see that and you go, oh, geez. It's a little out of control.
That's why I don't go up there.
Yeah. Well,
Coach, you go to Pigeon Forge for the weekend?
No, Coach, we went up to Knoxville. We drove up. We took my son has become a Tennessee Volunteer fan over the past handful of years. And we had an opportunity to go up and watch the Volunteers play the Wildcats on Friday night. Lucky enough to have some people hook us up with some incredible tickets and watch the Vols take down the Wildcats on Friday night. I know it didn't shake out too well after that the rest of the night for the Vols, but it was an incredible experience. My son, I'll put it this way. We left my youngest with grandma at her house, but my middle one, who kind of really isn't a big fan of sporting events, baseball games or whatever, she turned to my wife halfway through the game and goes, I want to go to school here. Can we get season tickets? She loved it. She was all about it. She had a blast. So it was a beautiful night. Weather was gorgeous. It was in the 80s, sunny, beautiful weather, and Rocky Top was blaring, and we had a good time up there.
Did you sing Rocky Top? That's the real question. Were you singing? I know you were.
We had a good time. We had a good time. You know what I mean? You just win and roam. Isn't that what they say?
Tell Sam he hurry up and reclass a couple years. He can go up there and play quarterback for him next year.
I was going to be one of those people. I was going to tweet out a picture of him and go, thankful for the visit.
Yeah, $2.5 million is free. So somebody wants.
We were going to lower our budget for a meal and call it a day. But yeah, it was a fun time. So we got a big shout out to for the tickets to get up there and take them up there and use a little bit of our spring break to have a good time up there in Rocky Top.
Good old Rocky Top.
Glad to hear it, man.
You'll always be.
Home sweet home Sammy.
Yeah. It's going to be the home of the Espos here soon. Coachy, but we'll leave a dot here. Events, right, Coach? So we're getting to that time a little month away.
Coach event. Hey, and a month away. We're also close to Scout Day season coming in hot too. So we got Scout Days rolling in. About to start up here soon. Events. We're starting off hot with events in June 4th down in the College of Charleston for our first Team Carolina Trials / Rising Stars. I do want to mention something on this one because we've had some people ask about this. Right, our Team Carolina Trials. Right, we run 3 of them. And along with each one of our Team Carolina Trials, we're running our Rising Stars events. So all, in essence, the same event rolled in there with one. Just give that opportunity in there. But it's the same event. People go, well, which event should I come to? Right? We do 3 different events in 3 different areas of the state at 3 different dates. Right? So we do College of Charleston down in Charleston on June 4th. We're doing here at University of South Carolina on July 1st. And then we're doing July 16th at Wofford. Right? So we got 3 different areas of the state with 3 different days. So whatever works for you guys works. Right? So we're leaving those. We come to you guys. Whichever works. And we know the summer event schedule is crazy and nuts. And once high school ball ends, right, a lot of these older guys, boom, they're gone. So we're coming to you guys. So Team Carolina Trials, it allows an opportunity for the players to earn their invites to the bigger ones. And then, right, the next one on June 10th and 11th is our big one, the big first invite only with the border battle with North Carolina. And I looked at this morning. We're, depending on pitchers, I haven't counted up the pitchers, but we're about 8 spots away from filling that thing out. 8 spots away from sold out on that one. So depending on the pitchers and all that, but we'll see how that goes. So we're, what is it, April 20th, and we're June 10th for that one. So we're well ahead of where we were last year. So if you have any thought of wanting to come to that, and that's a huge qualifier for us for our, which all these are, but that's a huge qualifier for us for our future games event, right? Along with that one. And we get this one asked all the time. What college coach is going to be there? Couldn't tell you. I don't know. We don't pay them to come. They come if they want. But in the past 3+ years we've been doing this one, it's been 12 to 15 schools that'll be there. So that one's always a big one. And then we finish off the summer event, in-state events with the big one with the top prospects. That's not yet on the website, but we'll be back down College of Charleston to finish off the summer of that one. So we're fired up for these events, and they all lead in right to our big national events, right? The junior futures, the future game, the senior futures, along with the super sophomore game. So we're fired up for those, and those events are harder and harder than ever to get in there because there's really no committed players anymore, right? We're down to, I think, one in this 27 class. So it's hard to go to those uncommitted only events when there's no committed players. So come be seen, right? Come be seen. We try to get out there as much as we can to see you, but our events are huge because it allows us to see as many players as possible, but also we get the data, we get the video. It allows our national guys to see everything as well, right? We've had our national guys see some stuff and allows guys to get into those All-American games as well from there. So who knows? Who knows what can shake out when you can come open some eyes. Hey, I want to put this one. Austin put this in a write-up the other day. We had a player come to our preseason All-State North, right? Kind of caught our eye. And Austin, I don't know if you're going to talk about him or not later on, but caught our eye.
Yeah, Coach. While we're at it, go for it.
Yeah, and then
we got the name pronunciation.
Yeah, and then and I'll let you finish that one out. But also, that next week we had a player at our preseason All-State South catch our eye, and me and Sean got a chance to watch him obliterate balls all last week. So these events are huge for us to be able to get people's names on the board and go from there. So the events, they're kind of tenfold. They kind of do a bunch of different things to help the players out from a recruiting standpoint, to get noticed, to get seen, to do all those things. So sign up. But that border battle, like I said, is about 8 spots from being sold out.
Do you want to wait, Austin, or do you want to wait to talk about that?
I mean, we can go at it while he's on the subject. I mean, he's talking about Kaito Green from Man. Those I know it's been a couple weeks, but a couple Fridays ago we had the T.O. Hanna J.O. Man matchup, and Seth Manning's on the mound, threw a great game, by the way. But Mr. Green, like Coach said, we saw him up there in Rock Hill, Fort Mill, where we were. I don't remember what. It's all the same, I guess. And he was wearing it out in the cage up there, getting them swings in. We kind of all stopped and was like, oh, wow, this kid can swing it a little bit. And kept up with him a little bit throughout the year. But, it just, like Coach said, you get to look for those guys. When we go to those games, you see the lineup come out and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember him. And he kind of golf clubbed a down and in pitch and hit it out and ended up being the only run of the game. But it's just one of the, not that we wouldn't have noticed it. I mean, kid hits a home run, we notice it, but we were looking for him beforehand because we knew him from the event. So like I said, and on top of that, he had a really good night defensively too. So just all around good night for him. Tough angle right there behind that backstop. Then you set up the hand and stuff. So
there you go.
Man, we got it going now. Yeah, so he hit that ball, and little did we know it was going to be the only run of the game that night. But yeah, somebody else going to have to go over there and check that out, see if I'm the only one that didn't like it. But yeah, like I said, you come to those events and you show out at the event, you get your name out there. I mean, we talked about him after one of those shows after the preseason All-State up there, and mentioned him a little bit. Like I said, he hit that home run, made some nice plays. J.O. Man runs like a 95% of the game shift. So he's playing second base, but he's actually playing it from the other side of the bag and made a couple of really nice plays over there. So good for him.
Hey, before we get any further into this, we'd like to shout out some loyal listeners here, and we'll throw it up. They're at the beach here, and they've tuned in. This is where our percentage from the TV comes. And kind of segmenting into that, right? How about this? Team of the week, the real deal, Fort Mill, a big series win there.
Coach, they're flexing the muscle. Flexing the muscle.
Coach.
I mean, I went against them, but I should have known better. But I mean, they rolled up there. Indian Land, obviously a very talented team. And Fort Mill, they had the one game they lost in the middle of it, but boy, that offense went clicking, and they put up some gaudy numbers over the last week, and
that's why they're a real deal.
real deal. Fort Mill, watch out now. I mean, they're just pushing everybody around. They got who they got this. They got a big one to finish up at the end. I think that. They got one more NAFO. They got spring break coming up here, and then they got NAFO to finish it out.
That's why they're
NAFO
on the TV.
Yeah. They're just chilling it out right now. Here, I got it right here. They outscored them 24-11 last week. So got our loyal listener shooting us the text right here. So outscored them 24-11. So just whipping up on them. So. Sorry, Indian Land. No offense to you guys. You guys are talented, but
you took on
Fort Mill figuring it out. No pressure on Fort Mill when we get to this playoff show. No pressure on the boys.
No pressure on that one.
That setup they were living right there don't look like there's much pressure on the boys.
Hey, look at this. I mean, they're just feet are kicked
jealous.
up.
I'm jealous. Look at the boy to the left with the socks on and chilling.
Well, yeah.
How many cold beverages we got there?
I was about to say, my man right there in the middle in the gray hoodie with the blue hat on. I don't know what he's got, but it might be a high life. He's feeling.
Hey, the mountains are blue down at the beach.
Yeah. They are living the high life.
Got a little sun out there on the beach today, and high life.
Congratulations to Fort Mill. They got it rolling and just gonna go live a good week down there at the beach and
Alex Guerrero in the socks. That's our compliment.
This is a very traditional Fort Mill thing to do, right? Wait till about right now and just get red hot and then start ambushing people all the way through the playoffs.
I mean, they've been playing well the whole year.
They're not letting them play bad, but that's something they've kind of been known for. Is they get hot right there at the right time and just start.
Drew, I think this is the only team we haven't. This is the only team we haven't like. We were actually. I felt like we were on this team from the get go.
Yeah.
Where the other ones were like, "Who's this team's no good?" And they're like, "Oh, they're undefeated."
Everybody keeps fluctuating, but Fort Mill just stays.
Fort Mill just keeps figuring it out.
Real deal.
Real deal, Holyfield.
Real deal.
Now, we believe the next Power 25. Coach, that'll be next week, correct?
Yeah. Rolling into the playoffs, we'll roll with that thing. Yeah, next week. Yeah, we'll do it next week.
I think we got let's see, we got 2 weeks left.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks left. This week and one more week.
And then your Power 25 will come out next week, and then the week after that will be the postseason pick'em show. Branching into that, we'll have our South Carolina High School League brackets up again this year somehow.
We have hired somebody from MIT to go through the brackets to attempt to crack the code.
Hey, but since we have moved to this format of the RPI, we've moved to some college baseball now. We got to start scheduling some good non-conference games, right?
Yeah.
But how do you do that in high school? You know what I mean? Like no knock,
but it also benefits. So let's take Fountain Inn for instance, right? You play at the Shipyard, you play at one of these high-profile preseason tournaments. There's your RPI chance.
Yeah.
Even though region record is the only thing that matters, obviously. But
what?
Not with the RPI.
No, it ain't. Not with
Like
the RPI.
the RPI changed the game.
Are we talking about Yes, I understand for the power rankings, but in terms of seeding for the playoffs,
yes, they go off the RPI seeding for the playoffs.
Who'd you say was the keeper of the RPI? Who's the
Max Preps?
Max Prep.
Okay.
Everybody went.
Who's the keeper of the Stars?
Yeah.
What was that country song? Wilson?
Maybe that was a good song. Is that Randy Travis?
That was.
Wasn't Randy Travis. Either way, he's trying to get me off on I just don't. I don't know about that. Maybe Max Preps is a lot harder to. I know when I was coaching
they've got that ECS system.
Max Preps was kind of like Wikipedia. As long as you had a working email address and were willing to upload somebody's
scores.
Somebody scored, you kind of sandbag it all you want. But
it's going to be interesting this year with the RPI change. We'll see how it goes. That makes the brackets very funny. But
that's why we've hired that guy, just like the Yankees hired that guy to change the bat. We've hired the guy for the bracket. So we've.
Wait, when's that guy going to reach out to us? I hadn't heard from him.
Yeah.
The torpedo bracket.
The torpedo bracket. It's going to be real fat in the middle. You know what I mean?
Hey, but once we get it set, we'll move it along. We'll be able to keep up with winners and losers.
But can we while we're here, I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Does this go for every classification, or is this just 4A? Is 4A on their own again?
5A also has a power. 5A has a power ranking deal as well.
So
I do know that
everybody who is a 1 seed who wins their region is going to be 1 through 4, but that 1, 2, 3, and 4 will be determined off of the RPI. Is that correct?
From what I've based,
the only way that you can be a 1 seed in a bracket is if you won your region, but you'll get an easier bracket based off of your RPI. Is that correct? It kind of sounds to me like it's the college format.
So 1A and 2A currently are the same format as we are used to. You're based off your region finish you're put in. 3A looks like. So 3A, the baseball bracket, is what 4A was last year.
The weird one.
Hold on. No, they're still in the districts, but they're not they're seated as in they're still seated 1 to 16, but there's more. We're not using RPI on this, from what I can understand. No,
so
you're not.
But they got to have a way to determine who's. So if there's 4 brackets, they got to have a. How do they decide who 1, 2, 3, and 4 are?
It's just predetermined on region stuff. Your 4A bracket.
Heard his Chat GPT.
Your 4A bracket is where you get your RPI, and then 5A Division 1 is going to look like, oh shit. I should have graduated from somewhere other than Clemson to figure this out. From what I can understand, it's different. But I'm not sure how these teams are seated, guys.
If we're being honest, I thought the RPI stuff was just something you had made up. I didn't think it was.
No, that was his quad 1 wins. That was what he made up.
I guess I thought that's what he was talking about when he was referring to the.
All right, now I understand 5A. So 5A Division 1 and Division 2, you're seated. It looks like.
See, that's going to be a whole other can of worms.
Because in 5A, remember back in the day in South Carolina, like if you lost a game, it didn't affect. Like if you lost a non-region game, it didn't matter, right? Like so, the preseason tournaments, if you lost, it didn't affect your playoff deal. Like in other states, it's your overall ranking or overall record. Now I know in 5A they have a power.
Yes.
So like, So if you lose, So if you lose, if somebody lost in the shipyard or somebody lost down in the Classic or whatever it is, they can have that can affect them. Now, if you lose to, obviously, like what we see in college sports all the time, you lose to a better team, it's not affecting you as bad.
So I'm assuming they're going to use the Max Preps RPI as well, correct?
That seems to be the winner.
So from the 5A Division 1, Division 2, it's seeded 1 to 12, upper and lower, but there's no region finishes. So I would assume they would take the top 12 teams in Division 1, and just boom, RPI them out, because your teams your regions are split between Division 1 and Division 2, so there's no region finishes. It's just
12 uppers and 12 lowers.
Yes, for each division, and then it's RPI'd out from there. So you like. James Island is number 1 in Max Prep, so they would be the number 1 seed in the Division 1 5A lower. Because their RPI is number 1.
That makes a lot of sense for the 5A because of the way it's split. Because if all 4 of us are in the same region in 5A, but me and Sammy's Division 2 and y'all are Division 1, and I finish 4th. Am I necessarily the same as the 4 seed from the other 5A bracket who may have more Division 1 teams?
Right, because there's some of those that only got one Division 1 team or they have none. You know,
like in Region 1 5A, I guess, the one that's kind of upstate, Hannah and all those guys. If you're a Division 2 there, if you're the only team in Division 2 out of that bracket, well, if you finish 6th in that region, but you're the only Division 2 team, does that make you the number 1 team for Division 2 out of that bracket? That wouldn't make sense. But
so would that help your RPI if you're the only Division 2 team in a predominantly Division 1 region?
I don't know.
Seeds 1 to 4 get a bye. That's all I can tell you.
You have to call Max Preps on them. I think in a couple of weeks we're just going to have to get Charlie on here. And
we need a selection show.
We'll let him hash it out. That'd be huge.
Like this could come down to the wire.
Live on the Palmetto Dugout show. The selection
and it's going to come down to the wire. Some of these teams.
Yeah, because your RPI could bump on that last game, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of those teams.
Stratford is the number 3 team in Max Preps.
That's what I'm looking at too. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Lawrence Manning would be like their RPI 6. Look at them. I mean, damn.
Well, yeah, but that's the when you
put them in,
put nobody in there, or when it's
the real deal. Fort Mill's at 7. I don't know why the Indian Land's above 4. This is where it just gets crazy for me.
We're gonna have to get we need a
but that's why I always thought that the
we need the BC. We need the computer.
No, we need the committee.
Drew's you need our MIT friends, Prep Baseball South Carolina RPI rankings, so we break it down by quad wins.
We need 2 weeks from now. Sammy, I know he's your boy. Get him in here. Charlie's going to be on the show. Tell him he's got to explain himself.
Working on it.
There you go.
This is a mess.
Well, I understand, but I get why they did it too in the other classifications. When you had the preset bracket, you're kind of at the liberty of, especially once you get into that second round, you could be the visiting team in that first game. You could be undefeated for the year, and it's predetermined. You may not get a home game in that second bracket. And I know a lot of people have always complained about that, and rightfully so. I mean, you could be a 3A team that went undefeated and then went 3-0 in your first bracket, won the bracket. And if your district was chosen to be the away team in the first game of the upper state, then better gas the bus up, I guess. So
yeah, we're gonna have that team that travels from the upstate and travels the southern part of the state for the entire.
Who was that last year? Wade Hampton.
Wade Hampton did it. Greer did it.
Greer did it 2 years ago. Was that 2 years ago?
Greer did a tour of the state.
Yeah, Wade Hampton had to do it last year.
Yeah, Greer Greer put on 30,000 miles on the bus in a couple weeks.
Hey, who knows? We got 2 weeks left here.
We got 2 weeks.
Shakes out. The Power 25 will be a great measuring tool as we get towards that time. But nonetheless, we'll break down some stuff we saw, and we'll turn it over to the two guys that were working so hard this week.
Coach, Forced Acres. It never fails you, right? I mean, it's one of those things this year, I thought, where, obviously because of the great world of the spring breaks here in the great state of South Carolina, so spread out, it was very condensed in the state, like teams, right? So we had a bunch of teams from right here in the Midlands, or as Austin always says, in Sean's hometown of Lexington. But
Lexington.
we had a lot of local flavor here with obviously the one out-of-state team, the Miller School, which brought a lot of big time heat in there. But Coach Hallett and AC Flora and Forest Acres put on a phenomenal tournament here and run that thing, and the Stars showed out, I thought, for the whole week. And I think we probably can use the whole entire show and then some to talk about a bunch of players. But I figure we can probably just talk about a couple of these guys and a few of them, and we kind of, obviously wrote out a couple of scout blogs on these things. Guys can go in there and see. But and I'll probably steal a little bit of thunder from Sean on this one. I won't take this one. I'll let him run this one because Sean was on top of this one from day one, and we talked about this a little bit from an event, so I won't let him talk about this one. But I will touch on a big-time arm that threw on Tuesday night down there for AC Floor for Coach Hallett was Carter Harrington. And Carter Harrington, we got a chance to watch him earlier in the spring, and we've got a chance to watch Carter Harrington over the years. College of Charleston commit, and Carter was big time. Did not disappoint. Was 88 to 91. Kind of a low three-quarter slot. But the one thing Carter, I thought, showed more than anything in this night was extreme pitchability with a changeup that was straight filth on the night. And he was able to throw this thing from the same slot, the same tunnel out of that fastball. And the changeup was almost like a split to an extent. I mean, There it was right there on that pitch right there. This thing had the great diving action down and in. Mm-hmm. Obviously, was able to throw that thing to right-handers, to left-handers. There it is again. And showed, obviously feel for the slider right there, was able to steal strikes with it, put away pitches, and can move the fastball in and out. And talking with Coach Hallett before, during, and after, for the most part of the year, he's kind of been a two-pitch guy due to the fact of kind of how the schedule is lined up. Fastball slider, but obviously taking on a tough River Bluff team that night. Obviously had to throw the changeup in there, and that changeup was kind of lights out. It wasn't kind of, it was lights out that night. And showing that pitchability, and he really ran into no problems at all for 5+ innings. A little bit of that 6th inning kind of started running into a little bit of problems, a couple dinkers, a couple balls squared up over the night. I think, a couple hits off him. But he was able to keep a very tough offense, scrappy offense that has won a lot of ball games all year long, kept them at bay. But Carter Harrington for me was a premium arm that showed it that night, that was able to step up and showed the stuff, showed the pitchability, but also more importantly than that, showed why he was one of the better arms in our state, if not arguably one of the top arms with the pitchability. Kind of like we talked about Bowman a couple weeks ago, stuff with pitchability. So kudos to Carter Harrington that night and AC Flora for how he pitched.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing too about him, I mean, you mentioned it, but the the changeup was working to lefties and righties. It really had no problem mixing it to either handed hitter. And then as well, like you said, too, the fastball working out of the exact same slot. So, hitters are pretty much guessing when it's coming out of there. So, and then the last thing too, is that it's still a really skinny frame, I would say. Like he's still got a lot more room to add on some weight. And so, I mean, if he can add on, another 10, 15 pounds, I feel like this is a guy that we could see in the mid 90s at least. And then obviously once he gets up to the college level, that those secondary stuff is going to develop well. And he's got some good coaches he's going to start working with at College of Charleston. So yeah, Carter's got a chance to do really well. And he's obviously a guy that we've had a chance to see over the years at some events and stuff. And it was good to see him do his thing, obviously in a big spot at the Forest Acres Classic. The other guy too, though, for AC Flora, obviously Rohan Bremer, the 2027 first baseman. Obviously we'd seen him at the preseason All-State South down in Charleston, and he was a guy who, just big and physical kid, like 6'2", 6'3", 210 pounds, and you're kind of looking at it, you see him roll in, you're like, who is this guy? He went up in batting practice, and he had a lot of good exit velocity on the ball there. But the biggest thing to me that stuck out was that he was really using the backside the backside gap with force, and he did pretty much exactly that this past week as well. Really using that right center field gap down the right field line as well for extra base hits, singles when he needs it, just kind of getting his hands inside. He's got a little bit of an inside-out swing to him with a lot of good bat speed in there. And then obviously the one time too where he went deep, it was just a moonshot. He caught a fastball out in front and let his hands do the work. And obviously that big frame is gonna put some force on the baseball. And yeah, it was good to see him do a lot of good stuff and against some pretty good teams there as well. So they were kind of mixing around in the batting order, which I thought was a little interesting. Obviously they had Winsky who's dealing with the issue with his eye. So he was hitting third in the first game, and then Rohan was hitting fifth. And then I think I saw him hitting cleanup, and he was hitting third in another game too. So he's obviously in all those impact positions there in the batting lineup there for Flora. And he did his thing this week. And it was pretty cool to see. And hopefully we'll be able to see him either at some time this summer, either at a tournament or maybe at other events and things like that if he's able to sign up for him. But yeah, he's somebody that, I'm pretty high on. I think that the bat speed is going to play, and I think he's somebody that really is going to have a chance against other good arms too. Obviously that physical frame is only going to get stronger from here on out. Not to mention he's 15 and a half. So he really should be a freshman right now. So he's already kind of a little bit younger for his age group, or at least his class right now. Obviously that big time frame is going to add on a little bit more as he continues to get older. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see where he ends up. In the field, we didn't get to see a lot on the defensive side. Obviously they kind of have him going out there as the DH and playing a little first base and things like that. But we've seen the arm strength. We know it's there at the event. So I think if they wanted to stick him over at third base, we'll have to see how he moves a little bit. It wasn't the worst thing ever, but we'd have to see a little bit more of what he's like on the base pass. He was hitting everything in the gaps. He didn't really have to run very hard, so we didn't see a whole lot. But that was really good showing there from Rohan. I would probably call him, at least over the first 3 days, probably the MVP and the best hitter of the event. That was pretty cool to see, and going to be one that we're going to want to keep an eye on, obviously, this summer and then into the next couple of years of his high school career.
Yeah, kind of one thing that really was kind of big time for me, especially with the young hitter, right? You talked about the moonshot. He hit a kind of fastball up and in, hits it out. Then he comes up his next at bat, gets 2 strikes, gets that breaking ball low and away, and is able to shoot that thing into the right, through the 4-hole for a base hit. And you touched on a little bit, but also Roper Winsky. And, we kind of had – he goes Sunday night, he's in the cage, right, and touched on this. We didn't do a little bit of a write-up on him because, he's battling this. But, right, Tuesday or Sunday night, ball off his face, breaks his nose, right? And so he's in, the emergency room till like 4:30 in the morning, broken nose, dealing with some eye issues, goes out there and play. So, obviously, we had a chance to watch Roper play quite a bit, obviously future games, and we've seen him over the years. But, tried to fight through him and battle through an injury. But he was a part of a play, to me, that was one of the coolest plays defensively that I've seen in a while. The triple play.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Who were they playing in this game? I can't remember now.
It was a game. Was it game 2? I think. Yeah.
Was it Hammond?
Well, Hammond was the first one. Did they turn in the first? Maybe it was.
I can't remember. They go for those first and second. They go for the double seal sack bunt. Third baseman comes in, makes the slide and play. At this point in time, Rober's trying to cover first, goes sprinting back to second, throws the ball back to second. He catches the ball on 1 foot, running into center field pretty much, spins around, makes the throw back to third. I mean, arguably defensive play of the tournament. I mean, hell of a play there on that one, but it was kind of a hell of a play on that one. So big time shout out to, trying to play through a big injury right there on that one. I'm gonna kind of shout out two more guys real quick. I know, again, I said we can do this forever, but Lexington, Ryder Carlson. Another young man we saw at the preseason All-State South, right? Long, lanky frame, I don't know, 6'3", 6'4", somewhere in there, 6'2", around there. And then kind of looking in that frame, but we liked him down there in Charleston, showed some, it was up to 87 in Charleston, comes out against a very talented. He was pitching against the Miller School that day, right? And that's the game he was pitching against, right? Yeah. And he goes out there, he goes 84, 87, touches 88. But the most impressive pitch, and talking with Banks Faulkner that day, he had just learned 3 weeks ago, throw a cutter. Cutter goes in there 79 to 81, just throwing this cutter, keeping the hitters off balance. There it is right there. Just a little sharp little cutter that he was able to throw to righties, the lefties, backdoored it into him, away to him, and was just, phenomenal that day. So he did a great job of pitching, keeping those hitters off balance, and obviously a talented lineup that's got a Tennessee commit, got a North Carolina commit, got a Louisiana Lafayette commit, got other commits on there. So a very talented team that he was able to keep off balance all night, able to overpower at times. I think he struck out the Hankins boy, threw his best bolt that day with an 88-mile-an-hour fastball, blew his doors off right there. So young man, 2027 with a bright future on the mound for Lexington. And then last guy I'll kind of talk about a little bit that we've talked about probably till we're blue in the face, but Christian Spivey, another big week for him with the bat. Just I think we've used every adjective we can for him when we talk about hitting with him. But pull side, oppo, up the middle, kind of does it every single time we watch him play. He just shows why he's one of the better bats, better hitters in the state, and continues to do it. So, he came up with a big opportunity against the Miller School when they were down and took a pitch off a tough pitcher and was able to drive a ball for a big RBI to tie the game up. Uses the backside of the field, middle of the field, kind of uses it all and shows his ability to hit. So, big time shout out to Spivey when you're kind of the guy in the middle of the lineup, around the star-studded lineup, but he's hitting in the 3-4 hole as a sophomore, and he continues to produce.
Yeah, no doubt. And I just back to Carlson real quick too. I mean, I'm touching on you mentioned Hankins specifically, but because obviously that was in his first inning, and they had done nothing but score. I think they Miller Schools run rolled their first 2 games, and then you're rolling in here with this sophomore. I mean, who obviously has some pretty good capabilities in there that we've seen and things like that. But against this level of a lineup, he goes right in there. And I don't remember what happened with those first 2 batters, but it was against because Hankins hit 3-hole, and I mean he had been hitting some screamers off some guys earlier in those couple of games, and he rolls up there and he like you said, backdoors the cutter for a strike. And the next one, I bet Hankins hasn't hit a ball that week since he was, I don't know, 10 years old, something like that. It was off the end of the bat and almost rolled back. It went into foul territory and almost rolled back into fair. It had that much spin on it. And I mean, a kid like that, going up against in Carlson, that is, coming up against Tennessee commit and making him kind of look silly a little bit out there. I mean, obviously, they had never seen each other before, but I mean, yeah, just against that quality of competition. I mean, that dude, I think really made a statement. It was definitely that at bat. I was like, okay, we'll see how the young kid kind of goes about it, and obviously against the star-studded lineup and things like that. And he rolled up in there, and right when he did that to Hankins, I was like, okay, we got to get locked in today. Like, this guy's going to be really good, and he really showed out for him. And I mean, obviously somebody that we're going to want to keep an eye on too, and going to see for now a couple more years here with Lexington. So we'll see how far they get in the playoffs. I'd like to see him pitch against James Island at some point. I think that'd be pretty cool. So never know.
Yeah. Fun week. Fun week for us down there. It was neat. We saw a lot of future gamers. A lot of junior future gamers were floating around on those fields, former, I should say. And we got some possible future gamers. Right.
FSG,
So
baby.
a lot of a good week at Forest Acres Classic out there. So big shout out to Coach Al and his crew. Deep run into that tournament, and big shout out to all the other great coaches in the state for putting on a good performance against show last week.
You're muted.
No, I'm not. Hey, I missed this one, guys.
Yeah,
y'all got after it down there. It's a shame a couple of us had to work.
Drew's calling us every day asking what's going on. We're like, working, coach. What do you think?
Yeah.
I did not call you every day, Sean.
Yeah.
I called
Yeah,
Sam
Drew-
twice, you sorry sex.
Yeah, Drew called about 5. He's like, "Yeah, what you guys got going on? What y'all doing?"
Out of the field.
Hey, just
The real
wondering,
question, Coach, you know what I'm about to ask.
what you got?
How was it?
We talking about the the concession report? What are we talking about? Coach, timeout.
Yeah.
It was good. It was real good.
Yeah, that is what we're talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
I didn't realize y'all's minds would wander so much.
It was strong, just quite. Coach,
Chicken
I
bog
got
on
a
Monday
breakdown.
and barbecue sandwich Tuesday, Wednesday.
That chicken bog wasn't nothing compared to mine.
Of course, you'd say that.
It
You
looked
know what I
more
mean?
fried.
Hey, all I know is I've been able to get chicken bog at the Forest Acres Classic. I ain't never been able to eat yours because you don't have a code for us. All right, here we go. A little clarification. Region champs are seeded first based on RPI. Change the subject. Then second based on RPI, third, then fourth, etc. Also, it's not the RPI and max preps. The high school league will have their own 50% record, 40% opponent record, 10% opponent record.
Oh, Jesus.
So there is some math to this. It's not just what some guy at Max
Absolutely.
Prep said. Yeah, this team's pretty good. They're number 2.
We got some math.
A lot of math sounds like.
So the high school league hired someone from MIT.
Hang on,
This
Sammy.
guy
Say
might-
that. So number one is RPI. I'm writing it down. Calculating
region
myself.
champs are seeded first. Here, let me just send this to you guys.
Yeah, go for it.
How about I do that? That'll be a little bit easier than just.
Are you allowed to reveal your sources, or can we just say this is from?
This is from one of the top high school coaches in the great state of South Carolina.
Is this from Pete Thamel? Or is it or Adam Schefter?
This is Adam.
So
This is from a source.
for our followers, 4A and 5A brackets, we will not know those until the high school league releases those. 1 to 3A, we got you.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
The only advice that I can give to anybody at this point:
Keep winning.
win as many games as you can between now and then,
Good
And
idea.
hope your opponents continue to win.
and hope the people that you've already beaten keep winning.
Yeah. Hope somebody don't tank it. Especially them opponents. You know, the good old opponents will always get you, won't they? That's always been that way.
So if I'm a team that is, if I finish last in my region and I go 0-24, but the rest of my region is just unbelievable. 50% and my opponents are really, really good too.
Except for you,
And there's a chance.
because you would be an opponent of them.
So let's say I'm Missouri right now.
You're 0-18.
We're goose egged, but our opponents and our opponents' opponents have all been pretty good.
And they haven't played South Carolina either, so that helps.
Yeah, right. So do I get to?
Yeah, stop.
Will I be ahead of some people who've played worse schedules? So if you go 12-12 and I'm 0-24,
Yeah,
if my
50% is your record, so that 50% could be a big jump.
but my other 50% is going to be good, and I didn't do anything, right?
Maybe not. But you're still missing half of what you need.
Yeah, but it would be the same as if you went 24-0 playing a bunch of terrible teams. you only got half of what you need.
Oh, Austin, shut up.
We're gonna have to come back to this.
Yeah, this is too much. We'll do this on.
We're gonna have a separate show on Tuesday night. We're gonna.
So
you're talking about Missouri. Missouri's been so bad. They're 0-18. They're still 153 in the RPI. So you saying there's a chance if you're in that thing.
And they're going to make the conference tournament. You're going to bust out a couple wins. You never know what's going to happen.
No.
You need to win about 8 games probably, but
all
it is what it is.
As we get back on the train here.
Sorry, we're back off.
We've missed 2 weeks, but we've had a ton of Palmetto Powers, right?
A lot of them.
However, there's one particular one that we're picking. He had 3 in the 2 weeks. However, we're picking this one for one reason only. Ty Simpson, Palmetto Power of the Week. But let's watch the The bat went farther than the ball did.
Yeah, I thought the bat was going to land on his head.
Shout out to the lady in the video too. That she was pushing that thing out of here too, man. Good for her.
That was one hell of a bat flip. Big shout out to Ty Simpson with the Palmetto Power there. That was impressive.
3 home runs on the 2 weeks too. I mean, it's how you get it done.
That's how you get it done.
He's
slow the train these past couple weeks.
We're trying to get back. Somebody's trying to get back on that train, I think.
The train is back on the tracks. It missed the tracks when they took on Seneca because they didn't have the pain. But the train is starting to they got some more coal and they threw that shit on the train and it's rolling.
And what stop did you get off at before they started rolling again?
I ain't been off the damn train yet. I just bought me some flip-flops and added that to my train.
Coach Flop, boy. Coach Flip-Flop.
This is I don't know if the people in Central want you back on the train after
I don't think they do.
A couple weeks
They
ago.
love me.
I don't know if they do.
The only people that don't like me is those Seneca Bobcats, but it's okay.
Boy, do they hate some Drew Stewart.
It's okay. Let's clarify. I do not hate Seneca. Put that on the chat. Since we're on this train right here, how about the Fountain Inn Fury with their 3-game sweep of the Laurens? And I've yet to see a damn comment in the section yet, Coach.
Yeah. That dude was wearing us out, man. He wore us out.
But he hadn't commented since. So,
it's all right, man. I get it. Yeah, you're sticking up for your team. I get it. People like their team. And we're supposed to do that.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's like Sean in the Gamecock Online comments.
It's all right. I mean,
what was the one that I found that article from that day? I don't forget what the name
October.
Was. October, maybe.
Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest. Yeah.
Oktoberfest. That's Sean. Sean is secretly Oktoberfest.
October. Oh, okay.
Oh,
As we move ahead here, let's unveil the records for the high school pick'ems. Sean is.
Hey, I got 2 players I still got to talk about. You haven't given me my time yet. Whenever.
I'm sorry. Let's go back to you, Austin.
Yeah, so I got 2. I didn't tell you who the other one was because it just kind of came to my mind. So I'm just gonna freestyle that one for y'all. All perfect. We get an apostrophe right there after the end. Can we fix that? First one I got Josh Carlson. We talked about him. I've talked to several people about him. Anybody that'll listen to me. I went and saw them play. Was it 2 Fridays ago against T.O.Hanna? And Coach Bolton, he had the whole rain debacle going back and forth the stadium, whatever. I got to talk to Coach Bolton, jail man, by the way. And I asked him who he was throwing, and he told me, and I was like, I'll be honest with you, Coach, I don't know who that is. And he told me that he had thrown, I think, 2-3 shutouts in a row at the time. So he proceeds to go 7 innings, shut out T.O.Hanna. They win the game 1-0. Then he comes out this past Friday night, and I think he only went 6, but he was only at 80 pitches. I'm not sure why Bolt took him out. I guess he wanted to save some bullets. I'm not sure what he was doing, but So he's now up to 5 straight shutouts that he has pitched. I know this past one wasn't a complete game, but that's 5 straight goose eggs for him. So I don't know what his ERA is on the season. It may be 0. I didn't dig too much further back, but so he's going on Friday nights for those guys right now, and it's honestly it's impressive because I think the night that I was there, he topped out at 80, 81 from the right side. He's 20-26, and it was just. I hadn't seen anybody locate like that and just it's not overpowering stuff or anything like that. It's just the swing. He was getting swing and miss like a guy that's throwing 94. Change up. He had as good a feel for a change up and a breaking ball as anybody that I've seen this year. And it was, like I said, it was impressive because that Tijuana lineup and several of these other lineups that he's doing it to. It's not like he's out here, there's going to be some teams up there in Charlie's RPI that he's just shoving goose eggs up. So, I just want to throw a shout out to him because it's been, it has been impressive what he's, even if you just, I was lucky I got to go see it in person because if you'd have just showed me that stat line, I'd have been like, man, I don't know if I believe that, but I saw it.
We need somebody from JL Man to fill out the pitcher of the week for him. And throw his name in there is what we need.
He should be the pitcher of the last 2 months.
He should be. We need somebody. Somebody needs to click that form from J.O. Man.
Bolton, come on, man.
Put his stuff in there.
So really, and I know everybody, you just got to see it because, like I said, it's top 80, 81. But the breaking ball is legit, change up to legit, locates. He does it as – he very impressive how well for a high school pitcher, how well he stays out of the middle of the plate. Because you guys know that 4 or 5A level, you get up, you start playing some good teams, you start leaving the ball over the middle of the plate. It don't matter what you got, they're going to hit it. But he stays out, especially you go up there to Hannah and somebody can jump the yard on you up there in second, and he just dodged barrel after barrel. It was really impressive. So shout out to him. Second one I didn't get to go see him, but I got a text. Was that Friday? I think it was Friday night. Will Fulcher, man. I don't know if any of y'all saw what he did Friday night. I think it was his second time back out on the mound this year, coming back. He went 4 innings, 12 punch outs on 61 pitches against who were they playing? Malden. Against Malden. So I know he's had a rough go at it this year on the mound arm-wise, but, he got to come back on pitch count. I'm not sure what his pitch count was, but I guarantee you whatever the pitch count was, they weren't planning on him getting 4 innings and 12 Ks out of it. So impressive night for him. He was a junior future or future a couple years ago?
Future.
Yes.
Junior future and future. Both.
He was both.
Double dipper.
Yep.
Double dipper. So
both. And impressive in both. Truly impressive in both.
Yeah, see, 2026, uncommitted still. And just, like I said, I saw that somebody texted me that and said, "Is this good?" And I was like, definitely wasn't bad. So, good for him.
What you looking for? Yeah.
I'm done.
Oh, okay. I was just checking.
Unless anybody else send me a text, I'll talk about you too.
There you go.
Hey, what we're here for, right? Got to give people what they want.
Now we'll put it back. Oh, nope, wrong thing. I gotta move that back down. All right, here are your records back. Oh, Sean leads at 12-6. Also with a 3-0 week, moves to 9-9. I'm at 8-10, and Sammy's bringing up the back at 6-12.
You guys feel good about yourself.
Back. What's going on here?
But there's always a chance to make it out of the
saying there's a chance.
There's always a chance. We've got 3 this week. Here we go. Let's share the screen. We'll start off with the game of the week. It is on Friday. How about this one?
Whew.
Good luck, guys.
Down. I know I'm going with. This one's easy.
Here we go. We will pick me first, Sammy second, Austin third, Sean last. Your game of the week puts the Louisville Lions versus East Clarendon Cujo. Both highly ranked in their classification according to Prep Baseball South Carolina. However, this is hard. Give me East Clarendon to win the game.
This is easy, yeah. East Clarendon, Cujo, boy, closer, boy, knows how to close the game out. Cujo, boy, throwing them invisibles before we had spin rates back in the day. He can be doing it again from the coach's box. Lock it down, Cujo.
Give me Louisville.
Yeah.
Or is it Louisville?
Louisville.
Louisville. Okay, it is Louisville. Okay.
East
Spoken
Clarendon.
like a true native.
Sean?
East Clarendon.
Sean's going for that, trying to stay with me and Sammy so we can't get closer.
I'm glad.
Hey, obviously
East
from
Clarendon,
my record,
closer.
from what my record is, I wouldn't pick me.
I'm hoping with only 2 weeks left, I'm hoping me and Sean pick differently.
Yeah, so are we going to do this just through the regular season?
Yeah. Well, we might do a game of the week in the playoffs, like 3. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what we do. Here you go, your 2-game series of the week. We're giving highlights to some different schools here. Strom Thurmond takes on 96. Give me I'm just gonna do it. Give me the split here.
I'm soft. This is coming from the king of the split. Calling somebody soft on the splits over there. I too will go split.
Give me Strom Thurmond sweep.
Ooh.
Gotta get bold here.
Sean, I need you to go sweep one way or the other.
I'm going 96 sweep.
Yes. It's my comeback, boy.
Here.
Don't call it a comeback.
Sammy, you got to get them all right, and he's got to get them all wrong.
It's going to happen, but it's going to happen. Don't worry
And y'all would tie then. Anyway, we know what. Before I reveal this one, we can already go and put Sean's pick down for the next one.
Yeah.
Here's your 3-game series of the week. Number 5 Riverfront takes on number 20 Lexington in the 3-game series of the week.
And they just played too.
And they just played.
They did. However, give me the Wildcats 2 or 3.
Wildcats 2 or 3.
Damn it! Why do you always pick the same as me?
Because we're losers.
I'm going. I got ground to make up. I'm going Gators 2 out of 3.
So Lexington's going to go Carlson in one of the games.
Will Studebaker go another time?
Studebaker just went on Thursday. So when would he go? He'll probably go Friday, I guess.
When he go Friday?
Go
Wednesday,
Wednesday,
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I want you, Coach. I want to take him to sweep, but I'll take the Cats 2 out of 3.
Oh, you're soft.
Yep, Sammy, they were
They're in my chance.
You're officially out.
It's okay.
Coach, you want to change it and go to a sweep here?
No, I mean, I kind of have to, don't I?
I mean, you have to, but you don't need to.
No, I don't.
You never know. We could have stuff in the playoffs too.
Oh, we're changing the rules again.
Yeah, we're going to change this.
Just like
Now, me and Drew are at the bottom, so we're going to change the rules.
We're the ones that make this show, so we're going to change the rules.
There we go.
Cheating.
We can't have Sean win this.
Well, it's because I'm losing the other
we're
one.
good.
So.
Well, because you know that one. We know why that.
Well, we're about to see because I've been doing a little bit better recently.
We're about to see. We're about to see.
Well, nobody won the game here the series here this weekend. So
yeah, you finally quit picking them and they won.
I told you it was going to work out one way or the other.
Here we go. Let's get to it here. Your college pick 'em points. Here they are. Austin at 42, Sam at 45. I'm at 43, and Sean moves up to 37. Big week for you, Sean.
I'm back.
Sean making moves. He's back.
Sean and me won the week at 8 points. Sammy had 7. Austin had 6.
What were my 2-pointers? Or your 2-pointers, my 2-pointers, whatever?
I don't know. I just wrote the points down.
You're kidding me.
Sean, this is not the damn RPI show. Hey, I did not send this to you. We do have a bonus game this week, an added game. It's a midweek game. Austin's going to love it. So we'll start off with that one. 8 p.m. Wednesday night, the Dogs travel to Clemson for a midweek showdown. Same order here. I'll pick then Sam, then Austin, then Sean.
Is it on Wednesday or is it on Tuesday? It's Wednesday?
Tuesday. I think it's Wednesday, but it may be Tuesday. I can't remember exactly.
I think it's Tuesday. I'll have to look. No, you got me.
Nonetheless, I'm not Sean. Okay, give me the Dogs to win this one. Tigers don't have enough pitching.
Dogs just had a tough week.
They did, but Tigers don't have pitching.
Oh, I won that one. Did they get swept?
Dogs got pushed around. Yeah, Dogs got swept.
Yeah, they got
Dogs.
They got bowled
but
Nashville.
I'm with it. Dogs hit 6 home runs against the Tigers and win 15-12. Sorry.
I'm going Dogs. I like what he's been doing midweek. They beat Georgia Tech doing it last week. He's just kind of
they're playing Tuesday. Tuesday, 6 p.m.
8 o'clock, 8 p.m.
Yeah, I hadn't decided if I'm going
on ESPNU. So that'd be fun. I like what West is doing on the midweeks. He throws every pitcher he's got for an inning. So
he's doing that old school mid-major move back in the day.
That's the old. I mean, he's got several guys that just that's all they're good for. So he might try to start doing it on the weekends too. I would.
They pitched. Kind of pitched.
He pitched better.
Didn't hit. They didn't hit this weekend.
Did not hit. And the big first baseman. Big first baseman's out too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Georgia.
Whoa.
We know Sean ain't picking Clemson, so that's just an automatic.
He has and definitely not to be the only one picking Clemson.
You're an ass.
No love for the number 3 team in the country.
Yeah.
Probably going to be number 2 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Hey. So back
I think they will win the whole thing. So I'm
Palmetto Dugout show is going out of state for that one. Usually we're all homers. So that means Clemson will win. So put your money down on Clemson, boys.
I will. How about this series? We're going to pick 3 more series. How about this one right here? A&M travels to Texas. A lot of bad blood in this series. A&M's been rolling. I'm going to stick with them. Give me A&M 2 out of 3.
I mean, you're talking about a guy was getting ready to get fired like immediately. Like, if there's one college baseball program that can probably get rid of a coach in the middle of the year, it would have been A&M. And the funds and the guy, like, they've righted the ship. But the Horns, baby, they're just pushing everybody around. They play, it don't matter. And in Austin, Texas 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I'm a good Texas 2 out of 3. You're right. A&M's rolling, but Texas has been rolling from the jump. And I feel like every series they've played, I feel like they played at home. Have they played an away series yet?
I don't think so.
I'm sure they have, but it just feels like everything's been there.
They play Kentucky at Kentucky.
That don't count.
Oh yeah, A&M's been rolling. And did they only took 2 out of 3 from Arkansas, right? They didn't sweep that one.
Yeah, 2 out of 3.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Only
at Arkansas.
At Arkansas.
At Arkansas. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Team that was number 1 in the country 2 weeks ago.
Big Suey.
Yeah, give me A&M 2 out of 3. I think they're riding hot, and they're going to go in there with a little intensity there, going against their former coach now. So,
good job, losers.
Who's a loser?
Texas is my SEC champion pick. So,
I took the Hogs, and they've just been simmering.
They're like, I mean,
they've lost 2 straight series.
It's okay. They actually play in a real league. I mean, it's okay. They play top 5 teams every weekend.
Talk about a team that is simmering now. Tennessee travels to LSU. I don't know. Can the Fighting Espositos get it done in Baton Rouge? Can't go against them. Give me the Tigers. 2 out of 3.
oof, you know, they did simmer down a little bit, but God almighty. I mean, the Esposito boys have been lucky enough to watch Tennessee's Friday and Saturday guys both throw. And oh, by the way, we watched a guy coming out of the bullpen throw 97 to 100 on Friday night as well with ease. Oh, and then he threw an 88-mile-an-hour changeup. It's thoroughly impressive what they have there. And yes, they lost a couple games because, again, they play in a real league. But I think they right the ship. I know it's down in Baton Rouge, and ain't no better place to kind of right the ship when you go down into hostile territories, and they're going to be calling Baton Rouge down there, and I think Tennessee comes out of there with a win 2 out of 3. Coach Vitello Dago rights the ship down there for the boys.
I'm going Tennessee 2 out of 3 as well.
They ain't losing 3 in a row. What do you think this is? This ain't that old school Tennessee.
LSU 2 out of 3.
Why do I have the same picks as the person that's in last place right now?
On a side note, that midweek Tuesday night, we got the Dogs and the Tigers at 8 o'clock. We also got Georgia Tech and Auburn Tuesday night. Mm-hmm. That's an interesting midweek game.
They've played – every time I feel like they've played that Tuesday games, which is every time they play it, I feel like it's a 15-inning game every single time, and it ends at about 12:30, 1 o'clock at night.
And that's when they start at 6. So this is starting at 8. This can be 3 in the morning. We got to put a curfew on thing, right? We can't get them out of there in time so I can make it to the Savannah Bananas on Saturday.
Watch out now.
That'll be our last pick. The Bananas versus.
Or I was going to say we pick Bananas.
What? We'll all be there. Our last pick here. The Tigers travel to the Wolfies for a 3-game set.
Hot, boy.
Pack is hot. However, give me the Tigers to sweep.
Oh, God,
after A&M takes down Texas, you're looking at the number 1 team in the country. Tigers sweep. A&M takes down Texas.
Sweet. I mean, yeah, it's almighty. I mean, my Pack's riding high.
Yeah, but Backage ball is coming to town. A lot like banana ball.
It's coming to town. They've lost on Sunday.
Oh, you can't win every game, but you can win every series.
Can, but they won't. As much as I want to pick with my heart, like a couple of guys on this show do every single time, I can't this time. As much as this pains me, Clemson wins 2 out of 3.
I'm going Tigers 2 out of 3 as well. I can't get to that sweep level, but I go 2 out of 3 with you. Speaking of the catch on Sunday afternoon, was that the best one we've seen this year?
It's crazy.
Wow. That was wild.
We had help from that hill. Elevated them up.
Saturday.
You always got a negative in there somewhere.
Tigers 2 out of 3.
John said that so reluctant.
For real, man, that hurt him to say.
Yeah.
Sean, we didn't put the Gamecocks on here, but it's on the pick 'em.
Who we got this week?
Kentucky.
Oh, there we go. We'll get in a fight. Let's go.
That'll be fun.
We'll get Maneri leading the charge out there.
He might trip and fall.
Jeez. Here we go.
October.
Man.
Do we have anything else to add to episode 118?
Sean, how do we feel about the Cox football season after the spring game? Where are we at?
Yeah, I actually got to go. That was cool. My parents were in town. We go to walk out on the lower level because it's all free entry and all that stuff. And we walk out. I walk out of the tunnel, and the security guard goes, "Yeah, nobody else is allowed to sit in the lower level." We're like, "Okay." So we turn around and start walking up the ramp, and we head up to the upper level, and there's gates in front of the upper level, and we're like, "Okay, 0 for 2." So we just happen to be where all the suites are, and I just started walking down that way and opened a couple of doors, and so Mom and Dad and I got to sit in the suite for the spring games. That was pretty cool. So it all worked out, but it was glorified practice. We got to see the one big play, I guess. But I don't know. They had some guys who were hurt and stuff, and Lenore's played like 5 plays. So after that, I was pretty tapped out, and we left at halftime. So, but good overall experience, I guess. Anything else?
Spring practices.
Well, they quit putting these games on TV because everybody don't want people poaching their players.
Right.
They're poaching them anyway. What's it matter?
That's why I'm like, is that really what is watching the spring game on ESPN what's causing your players to go?
How about time out? Did y'all see that? Speaking of poaching, and we can talk about this till we die, but did you see the dude from North Carolina, the quarterback?
Yeah.
He transferred he was at Purdue, transferred from Purdue, I guess at Christmas, after Christmas, to North Carolina. Goes to North Carolina through spring practice. I guess it's going to be the start. I don't. Whatever happens. In the portal, going back to Purdue. What do we do? This didn't work out.
I'm always greener.
What the hell? What are we doing? Hey, honey, I know I told you I was leaving, but I'm coming home. You can take me back. I mean,
does that count as one of his transfers now since he ended up back at the same spot?
It was like a trial period.
We're just testing the water.
It's
a hall pass.
Well, it's a hall pass. I was going to say, what was that movie? A hall pass.
The movie, hall pass. He tried it. His hall pass with Belichick didn't work out very well.
Gamecock got a receiver last year from Louisville who came in, and then like in September, he announced he was transferring back to Louisville. We're like, all right. So I would imagine it's probably a little more common than where we're. I guess because it's just free reign for between conferences, right? The only issue it would give you if you're trying to transfer from an in-conference to an in-conference school, I guess.
Only in the SEC. The SEC, I think, is the only conference that has the football where you can't do it. But how do you you can't even install your offense or your defense because they're going to go back and be like, hey, boys, I got the play calls.
Maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe North Carolina and Purdue are planning on – they're playing each other in the Meineke Carker Bowl this year. And
it's like the Russians and the Chinese spies coming over here. You know, remember them balloons flew over Myrtle Beach and went in the ocean?
We got sleepers.
Sleeper cells going into the football.
Maybe Belichick's girlfriend, who's my age, is rolling out there at quarterback. That's why the guy hopped in the portal. Maybe that's what's going on.
Could be.
The players are mad their girls don't look as bad as his. His girls his.
As their 75-year-old coach.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
You know, they've been making a lot of money. They ain't making as much as him, though.
I don't even know if you got to hate the game.
Oh, boy. Anything else to add, guys?
I think this is going off the rails.
Doesn't it usually?
The 5 minutes after he ends this live stream, this is going to get real sad.
PB After Dark.
All right, we'll wrap this up. We're at 1,000 viewers right now on this thing. So anyway,
we'll see you next week, guys.
Hey, Power 25 next week. The big show, and then we'll have the next show with the
big show. The big show's coming on. We got the big show.
Speaking of last weekend, WrestleMania, right? Is tonight WrestleMania?
No. I don't know.
If anybody should know if it's WrestleMania, it's you, Austin.
I think it might have been Friday, Saturday.
Oh shit! You missed it.
Well, it was a busy week.
We had a segment on that last year.
There's no way they have WrestleMania on Easter.
Gotta spend.
I don't know. We had the Palmetto Dugout show on Easter, so anything goes. Yeah.
Saturday, April 19th through April 20th. That would be today.
That's today.
Actively happening.
Austin, you better get that pay-per-view. This steel cage match is about to come on.
Because Stone Cold says so. Go get you a couple Coors Lights and go get at it.
The Undertaker's about to pop out.
We got John Cena.
We're gonna end the show.
Damn, jean shorts, boy. Go get it. Austin's got a jean shorts on right now. He's about to go tear out.
Jesus Christ.
I got a nice pair of jean shorts.
Got his George on. We got to go. We spend this thing.
Yeah, you're going to say, don't knock it till you try.
Hey, that's going to wrap us up for episode 118. From all of us here at Prep Baseball, South Carolina, happy Easter, and we hope you have a great week.